This is the RAD Position with ASRT CEO and Executive Director Melissa Pergola. A podcast for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals. Hi there, and welcome back to the RAD Position podcast. I'm your host, ASRT CEO Melissa Pergola, and I'm here with
her podcast partner, Ray Arambula.
And today we have Melissa Culp, Executive Vice President of Member Engagement, and the theme of this episode is membership and you.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
So, Melissa, I'm going to start out by giving our listeners and viewers a little introduction about you. So Melissa Culp is a staff member, Executive Vice President of Member Engagement at ASRT. Before joining ASRT, Melissa held leadership roles in the private sector and global health nonprofits, served 10 years as a faculty member at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill School of Medicine, with appointments in the departments of Allied Health Sciences and Radiology, and worked clinically as an MR technologist at Duke Health. She volunteered as secretary for the NCSRT, the North Carolina Society of Radiologic Technologists. She was on their board of directors in 2009 to 2012, and she was an affiliate delegate in 2015 to 2016. In her current role, Melissa strives to ensure that ASRT benefits, resources, and offerings support career growth and development by creating a professional community where members matter. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we are thrilled to be having a conversation with you today. And I want to start by talking a little bit about our mission. So how does ASRT work with members to deliver on our mission and vision?
It's a great question. So as we know, ASRT's mission is to advance and elevate the medical imaging and radiation therapy profession and enhance quality, safe patient care.
Yes.
And so we really work with our members very actively, particularly to raise awareness and to advocate for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals. So our government relations team is constantly monitoring bills at the federal and state level and activities and things that are emerging.
Yeah.
And in that, constant monitoring also supports our affiliates to advocate in their local areas and in the states too. So ASRT really supports that level of advocacy, constantly advocating for our roles to make sure we're respected and protected professionally. Also, currently, ASRT is really breaking new ground in raising awareness of the profession. So we have the Be Seen campaign, which was an initiative of the ASRT Board of Directors, and that started with the one commercial and has evolved into a video for every discipline, and we're really getting out there to be seen by the public so the public knows who medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals are, and honestly, other healthcare professionals. We need to be known within health systems by our colleagues, by our peers, so we're seen as peers and really seen as important for what we do every day. Finally, ASRT really advocates in the landscape. So we work with other organizations, so like the American College of Radiology, ASTRO, which is the American Society for Radiation Oncology. All of these peer organizations developing relationships and having open, collaborative communication, partnership, just very open discussions to really think about advancing the medical imaging and radiation therapy professions and thinking about patient-centered care, thinking about how we can work together collaboratively to advance patient care. So ASRT is really there for us.
Yeah. So you talked about ASRT, but I want to talk a little bit about our members. So how do ASRT members and volunteers shape the medical imaging and radiation therapy profession?
Yeah, that's a great question. So honestly, Melissa, I've been a member of ASRT since I entered the profession in 2006.
Whoop, whoop.
I know. And until I worked as a staff member, I did not fully understand the scale to which ASRT volunteer members shape the profession. Yeah. So if we think about something like our governance volunteers who help with the practice standards, they truly set, like, this is what Melissa Culp could do clinically at her MR scanner with her patient, which is then constrained by state law and institutional policy. But those volunteers establish this is what I can do. And so they're truly with me in that moment when I'm with my patient, when I'm holding the hand of that person who has claustrophobia. Our volunteers are with me and shape the profession. And as I taught, you think about our curriculum work group volunteers who come on and review the curricula that are used in educational programs. So when I taught at UNC Chapel Hill, as you mentioned, I pulled that curriculum and I followed it and I made sure I was teaching everything that was in it. So those volunteers who sit on those work groups were with me in my classroom, with me, with my students. So truly the volunteer members of ASRT really shape what the medical imaging and radiation therapy profession get to do. And to build on that, I think research shapes our profession too. So we have our journals where we do peer-reviewed research, and research is so important for shaping the profession, having an evidence-based approach to the profession, making sure we're collecting data so we know what best practice is as technology evolves. So I was reading a book recently called A Short History of Medicine. And so it mentioned John Snow. So John Snow was this guy in London, and there was a cholera outbreak, and John Snow kind of evaluated it by like, it's from this water pump. And so he documented it and published it. And it took after his lifetime for people to see like, yes, he was right. And germ theory evolved. But if he hadn't published it, if he hadn't like written it down and put it out there, like that is truly how you change medical practice and change and make sure we're using data-informed practices. So our volunteers and like the people who do research, when you spend all those hours doing that, it truly impacts our profession and how we show up with our patients in the moment.
So the theme of this episode is membership in you, and I'm already starting to hear some things, right? It's not just being a member. It's the difference that you can make as a volunteer. And I want our current volunteers to hear that, because what you said, I think, is a brilliant way to speak to the heart of those who are our current volunteers. I'm not sure if we've ever said it in that way, the important role that they play and the difference that they make. But I also want others to hear it's a reason to join and become a volunteer, right? And there's lots of things you can do. You can do research, you can speak, you can volunteer with the curriculum, with the practice standards. So I think membership in you, maybe another theme is, but you being involved, right?
Kind of going back to the ASRT member and their career. You know, careers aren't so linear anymore. There's leadership, there's academia, there's so many different paths. But how does ASRT support members in their career growth and developing their careers?
And that's a great question. So, and I like how you frame that, Ray, that there's different paths. It's not linear. There's different opportunities that we can have. So we have roadmaps, which help our members see different pathways. So either that being a post-primary credential or going into education or management, those roadmaps are available for members, and they kind of have different steps and things to think about and mentorship and ways to move forward on different pathways. We also, for students, so like when we start out, a career truly goes like student through, right? And can go many different ways. So for our students, we have SEAL exams, which are practice exams that they can take as they're preparing for their registry and their certification exams. We also have a lot of opportunities. Melissa, you mentioned presenting, right?
Yes.
So as you're kind of growing in your career and want to share, we have calls for abstracts and support for members to come and to present at conferences and start the journey into writing, start the journey into publication. So we have a great support for Write for ASRT. And then as you're in your career, We do have continuing education for all disciplines, and we have full CQR coverage for all the disciplines and structured education. So a lot of opportunities through like continuing education, entering into publications, conferences, SEAL exams, and then the community that we have through all of that of mentorship and colleagues to sponsor you, mentor you, and support you on your journey. So,
and so it's not really just entry level. There's so many different paths like we talked about. But there's that career growth combined with your workplace demands. How does ASRT help in saving our members time so that they can just, have a regular life and make time for life in general?
Yeah. So work-life balance is so important. And what medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals do is very important. And we have to show up for our patients. Like you have to show up and be present, bring your best self. So in order to do that, ASRT really wants to support our members in work-life balance and having that space to really be present with their family, to be present with your friends. Like you work so hard. You want to be present when you're having dinner. You want to be able to play with your kids. You want to have game night with your friends. Like you need space to do all of that without having to worry about the details. And I would say our member services colleagues are top notch. They are real humans. They know so much about CE for every different state. Like you can be a member in California that's a mammographer that has state licensing, that has your certification, that has MQSA. And you can call and they can help you sort that out. So those are real people who are there to help you during any time in your career about any sort of question. So those are colleagues who are there for you. So we also have track and transfer for our members. So when it is. When I'm doing my CE, ASRT keeps up with my CE record. And then when I go to do my certification renewal, I pay my fees to the ART because that's my credentialing. My record tracks over there. I don't have to do anything. I log in. Cool, it's there. So I don't have to keep track of that. It just does it for me. I don't have to spend time uploading certificates and uploading CE. We also have things like the job bank where you can get in touch with employers if you're looking for a different job. And recently we've done more virtual career fairs. So from the comfort of your home, you can upload your resume and meet with different health systems and different imaging centers who are looking for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals. So we try to do a lot to make life more convenient because you have to be there for your patient. We want you to have that time with your family, your friends, with your life to do the things that matter to you.
And I love that we have these kind of set it and forget it resources and automation. Just so, because we recognize you have a family, you have kids, you have a life outside of this, and that's important.
You're a human being, not just a medical professional, right?
Right.
Can I go back to track and transfer for a minute? So the listeners, it was kind of in your intro, but you mentioned it again. You're actually a technologist. And when you said my record gets uploaded to ART, you were talking about yourself specifically. But we don't just track and transfer to the ART, right?
Right.
But correct me if I'm wrong. We also do for medical dosimetrists, right? So that's MDCB. We also do for nuclear medicine technologists. So that's NMTCB. We also do for sonographers. So that's ARDMS. We even track and transfer to the Florida Department of Health, right?
Yeah, that's right, Melissa.
Did I forget anybody?
No, that's everything. So ART and then all of that. And we are continually looking for ways to expand that and to support our members on that track and transfer.
So I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about the future. So how does ASRT impact future innovation?
Now, that's a great question. So ASRT and the ASRT Foundation specifically. So ASRT Foundation has a corporate roundtable. And ASRT Foundation through that, in addition to ASRT, really work to bring the member voice into that space, into innovation, so that, when we're working with our corporate partners through the ASRT Foundation Roundtable, we really bring the patient and that patient care experience to the forefront of innovation. So, for example, over the past few years, we've done several surveys about AI in medical imaging and radiation therapy.
Yes.
And these are published online. So if you were to look at ASRT research, we have a white paper there called the Consensus Committee White Paper, and in Appendix 3 of that, all of our AI research is compiled and published.
I love that you know that it's Appendix 3. Do you know the page?
No, but it is Appendix 3. I know it's Appendix 3.
I love that.
Yeah, so all of that is online and published. And so we understand from those data that, for example, like educators would like to know more about AI and medical imaging and radiation therapy so that their comfort level in teaching it to students is higher. So from those data and in those discussions on the ASRT Foundation Corporate Roundtable, we now know, we need to make some education for our educators and for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals about AI. And so we'll be doing that this year, making an ASRT AI Academy, which will be a helpful educational learning product for any medical imaging and radiation therapy professional. But that's a true, we worked with our corporate partners and we did those surveys, and then we're actually taking action to support our members in that. And I think one thing that's really important to me that I see that we do with our corporate partners is making sure the member experience is there, making sure that the person stays centered there. So if we think about something particularly like AI, ML in medical imaging and radiation therapy, making sure that the patient, the person is at the center of that. Because, I've been in the hospital for when I delivered my kids, or I've seen relatives in the hospital. And one thing that is true for me is that's a person experience. I want to know there's a person there with me, and you can never take the person out of that moment.
Absolutely.
Right.
So kind of bringing the member voice into that design, into those conversations so that innovation aligns with advancing and elevating the medical imaging and radiation therapy professions and keeping the patient at the center of innovation.
Yeah. So you even mentioned when you were talking about AI and research, sort of that community and keeping everyone involved. So you mentioned it's important for ASRT to create a community where members are welcome. So my question is, how do we do that? How does ASRT do that, and why does it matter?
This is the most important part for me because all life is about relationships, right? We are medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals. We are there with a patient. We are there with our students. We are there with our staff if we're managers. And all that is relational, right? So the community aspect of ASRT is at its core, is at its heart for our members. And so there's a lot of ways that we foster community and create that togetherness. And I would say several, ASRT's community is online as a member benefit where you can ask questions of other RTs within your discipline and have exchange of information. So that's a place where we digitally have community. We also, through our conferences, this is Real Connection, where we have the Educational Symposium, the Radiation Therapy Conference, ASRT at RSNA. These are opportunities for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals to come together and make real bonds of togetherness and real connection in real life. And I know our teams work really hard to foster that community and connection. Also, we have leadership programs. I think of them as ways to grow in your career, but they're truly cohorts that come together. So the Educator Institute, the Leadership Academy, the Student to Leadership Development Program, all of these programs that ASRT hosts where you're truly with other members, you're learning, and you develop those lifelong connections. And I would say those are some of the most important parts of making community. And just as a personal story, in my career, I early on received a grant, an international outreach grant from the ASRT Foundation. And this funneled into a whole career of community. That Catalyst helped me grow in my interests and meet different people and different mentors. And then I mentor people and help other people in their careers. And it's just this virtuous cycle of connection and community. And that's what makes ASRT so special, is that it's about us together as people.
Yeah. So what can our listeners do to be part of this ASRT professional community and this type of engagement?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think just some tactical things that you could do immediately right now. All of the Be Seen commercials are available at asrt.org/commercial. And so you can share any of those on your social media with your friends, with your colleagues. So I think really sharing those to be like, this is who I am. I'm an important part of the healthcare profession is one tangible thing. Also, ASRT will do calls for advocacy action. So you may get an email saying, ASRT is trying to advocate. Can you please write a letter? Like using this form is very easy to talk about trying to make things easy. And it's a very easy form that sends to your congressional representatives, your senator, your representative. So doing that when you get those really helps show the numbers of ASRT. Also thinking about volunteering for your affiliate, submitting an ASRT volunteer form, doing community outreach, like going to those career fairs. Any of that are ways to engage and to begin to enter into that community sense that we have together.
So you mentioned sharing the commercials and being seen. I want to remind our listeners and viewers that we are going to do a commercial for every single discipline. So if you don't see you there yet, you will be there. But I still think I want to remind everybody, you should share it anyway. Those are your colleagues. That is your community. And I also want to talk about that in terms of the calls to action. You mentioned numbers and how important numbers are. And I think sometimes we might get a call to action and we might be like, well, this isn't specifically in the realm of what I do, but it takes all of us as a community to respond, and those numbers matter. So if you get that call to action, it means we need you. You may not immediately see yourself in it, but you are there because we're a community and we have to work together to protect and uplift who we are. So, Melissa, I can't thank you enough for not only being our colleague, but being the perfect person to be the EVP of member engagement, because the work that you're doing and your teams are doing is bringing together this community and all of these things that we have to offer. So I would challenge those listening, if you are a member, get involved, check out some of these things. If you're not a member, check us out.
Come on, member.
That's right. That's right. Because we want you to be a part of this community where you matter. We'll be right back after this short message.
Ready for a dream getaway? The ASRT Foundation annual drawing celebrates your hard work with incredible prizes, from a dream getaway to extra cash to splurge on yourself. Plus, every ticket supports scholarships and grants for future and current medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals. ASRT members have this exclusive chance to win big. So go ahead and treat yourself. Get your tickets today at asrt.org/win-win. Okay, well, guess what time it is?
I don't know.
It's game time.
Okay.
So I hope you're ready for game, Melissa.
I like how Melissa looks as scared as I always feel.
Yeah. And so today's game is called Member Roundup.
Okay.
All right. So this game actually has props. I have with me a bag full of props, and I'm going to pull a prop out, and I'm going to give it to one of you, and then I'm going to tie it in with a phrase or a word related to a member value or benefit. Okay. And it's your job. And these are, let's say, wearable props.
Oh.
So as you're wearing these props, you have to explain try to sell this member value or benefit to our audience. Okay?
This is fun. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
And Kim and
She's excited. Give it to Melissa first.
We'll go with Melissa first. Kim and I will be the judge on who does the best selling. Okay? Here we go. So the first item I have is a graduation cap.
Oh. So I'm going to put on the graduation cap.
And the tie-in word for this is continuing education?
Oh.
Well, with my graduation cap, I am a recently graduated medical imaging or radiation therapy professional. I'm entering into the field. Previously, I had a student membership to ASRT, but as I grow in my career, I will get a graduate bridge membership and then transition into active membership. And as I go into active membership, I will begin my continuing education for my biennium, for my CQR, for my professional growth and development.
Well, you're not going to win this.
Can I just not?
You're not
should
gonna
just
win
not.
This. Okay, but let's see if you got any skills.
Oh, no.
Okay. You remember these?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll put it on. ASRT working for you.
ASRT working for you. This is a lei.
Yeah.
Okay. As a sign of being welcome.
Thank you.
So your tie-in word is community or belonging.
Oh. Okay. So, you need to know that ASRT is always working for you, but we can't be working for you without you working for you. So we would love for you to become part of our community. You can digitally with our digital communities. You can by signing up for leadership academies. You can by attending conferences. And then you too can get exciting conference paraphernalia. That's it. That's all I got.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
I was impressed. I want to buy that. That was impressive. Good job, Melissa. Okay.
Thanks.
Next one.
Wait, do you have more?
Oh, yeah. There's more. There's
What?
two more.
A tiara?
Okay. There's a tiara.
Not sure how to do that with my.
Yeah.
And here's a trophy. I don't know if you played baseball, but we'll pretend it's a random trophy.
Look, the test is
How can I wear the
Wait,
tiara?
if I can disconnect, I can hold it over your head.
It's okay.
I just got it.
I got it. All right. What is my word?
Your tie-in word is professional recognition.
Oh. Hello, ASRT members and possible non-members. Hello, every medical imaging and radiation therapy professional. ASRT is here to make sure that you are seen as the leaders and winners that you are in our field. Every day, we, with your help, raise the visibility of the profession and make sure that you're seen through our Be Seen public awareness campaign, through our communication with other organizations in the landscape, through all the conversations and connection and community that we have. We need to see ourselves so that others can see us, and we do that together with you. So please join me with my upside-down tiara and my lovely trophy to make sure that you're with us as we're being seen.
I love the swagger that she brings into this.
I can't.
That is impressive. A sideways tiara. Here are some safety goggles.
Oh.
I feel like you're going to be in chemistry lab.
Oh, okay.
Your tie-in word is professional standards.
Oh. Hey, ASRT members and possibly non-members, we need you. What you do matters, and we need to make sure that what you do is safe and protected, and that we have professional standards to uphold so that you can work at the top of your scope, but we can't do it without you. So you need to get your own safety goggles and join us and uphold our practice standards and work on our committees that set them, because together we will protect and uplift our profession.
Ooh.
That was good.
That was pretty good. You
That was
just made that
strong.
up, huh?
I did. I totally
That's
made it
really
up.
good. Impressive.
I really don't feel safe. I can't see.
Okay. To make a vote, Kim, what do you think?
It was the crown for me.
It was. I love that sideways crowd.
I've never seen anyone wear a tiara like
with
that.
the baseball trophy.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you figured out how to wear that crown with the headphones
That was
makes you win
impressive.
anyway.
Yeah. You can keep the tiara.
Okay, cool. I'll just wear it after I take my
Okay.
headphones off. I'll
You
wear it
earned
around.
that for sure. Well, thank you for playing along.
That was fun. Thanks, Ray.
All right, Ray. Now that
Okay.
we got through that, guess what time it is?
Is it time for the We See You segment?
It is.
All right. Let's get that rolling.
All right.
Hello, Dr. Pergola. My name is Jarek Stelnert. I'm the full-time faculty at Hostess Community College of the City University of New York. And I'd like to ask you one question. This question is about AI. AI promises efficiency, but it also raises concerns. So how is ASRT thinking about the balance between innovation and preserving the human role in imaging in the future? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. Thank you so much for that question. I was just having a conversation with an esteemed colleague this morning who's been in the profession, I guess he was in the profession like 50 years. And we were talking about the fact that our profession has never been static, right? When he started, many of the technologies we have were not here. Even when I started, we have technologies, right, that are here that were not there. And I think that's something we have to always remember. AI has come, just like all those other technologies had come before. But what we have to make sure is that we aren't fearful of new technology and that we embrace it as an evolution. And most importantly, we make sure that we are still the owner of our house. We are that patient care provider in the room. That need will never go away. Melissa had talked about that a little bit on this podcast, that we will always be that human aspect. But we also need to move with the technology. So we also need to be open to maybe even growing in our profession where 50 years from now, it doesn't look exactly the same. But what we have to be confident in is that we will lead the evolution of our profession.
Yeah, I would say AI is a tool.
That's smart.
But the technologist is the decision maker,
yes,
in my opinion. AI definitely has the position and opportunities to reduce a lot of that busy work.
Yeah.
And save time for our patients and clinical decisions. But I think like what you were talking about, Melissa, it's that human connection in imaging that's just irreplaceable. You can't replace that. And it's actually probably something that we need to protect.
Yeah.
While still working towards innovation, but treating AI as a tool.
Yeah. And Melissa, you mentioned earlier that we have some exciting things coming. And this is sort of us leading the way and being futurists and paying attention to what is happening and making sure that we're keeping ourselves as leaders in that. Can you mention again what we have coming on the horizon?
Yeah. So this year we'll be having an ASRT's AI Academy, which will be a set of CE for medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals to learn about the definitions, kind of some workflow uses of AI, and then emerging technologies. And then also to kind of think about the whole education of the profession. In our curricula, we have sections about AI and ML. So we know that's being integrated. And it's just like any technology, right, that evolves. So when I graduated, we still had screen film.
Yes.
And I had to learn about digital imaging like as that came about. And so it's ASRT really being there, our members volunteering and making sure, like you said, we're owning our own house and making sure we're having the education to empower our medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals.
Yeah, thank you both. And thank you for this question.
Yes.
Great question. And I think it is an important reminder how we have to continue to remain confident and competent in what we do and make sure that we continue to lead the way of the profession. So thank you again for the question.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, guess what time it is?
I'm trying to follow your...
It's time we tell our listeners and our viewers, don't put yourself in a bad position.
Stay up to date with the bad position.
Breaking news. Registration is open for the ASRT Educational Symposium and Annual Governance and House of Delegates meeting. Okay, now I cannot be quite so serious. The event kicks off with the ASRT Educational Symposium on June 25th. The symposium includes courses by some of the premier experts in medical imaging and radiation therapy, and you can earn up to 6 continuing education credits. If you attend the educational symposium and you're able to stay, what's really cool is the very next day is when the House of Delegates start to meet. And that's where delegates meet from around the country to make decisions that shape the ASRT and the profession. In addition, the annual meeting is the home of the ASRT Exhibit Hall, which features medical imaging and radiation therapy vendors, the ASRT Honors Evening, the ASRT Installation of Officers event, ASRT Foundation events, and endless networking opportunities. What's even more, Route 66 Centennial festivities will be happening around the Albuquerque area, so it is going to be the place to be, and it's the perfect opportunity to mix professional growth with a bit of Americana fun. There is something for everyone, so register now. Online registration closes on June 11th. To do this, visit asrt.org/AGHOD. That's asrt.org/AGHOD to learn more and to register. Well, so much fun having Melissa Culp on the episode today.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So thank you for bringing the energy that you bring, and fair and square, you beat me in the game. So
thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah. And to all our listeners, don't forget to write in at radposition@asrt.org or fill out the form at asrt.org/radposition.
Yeah. And don't forget to subscribe and like and all those things and share.
Share it with your colleagues, your family, your friends, everyone.
Yeah. And to all our medical imaging and radiation therapy professionals, be seen
and stay rad.